What is going on, guys? It's Gospel Gamer here. We are back on Chaos Child, and she spoke like a parent worried for a child's future.
But in the end, he...
Hello, everyone. Oh, I didn't think I'd see you here, Kurizu.
Did you hear anything?
The club advisor, Wakui, fuck me, one name, was quite relaxed as he came into the room. Kurizu quickly stood up and rushed over to him. He nodded and motioned for her to calm down. Fuck me, can't he talk? Yeah, just now. Is everything okay? Of course. Hey, Ito. Get to the gym now. Huh? The gym? Why? The Live Music Club said they were out to do rehearsal. It should be a good finish for the culture festival. Kurizu's expression froze. And suddenly it changed.
Mr. Wakui, is that what you heard?
Yeah, that's right. What's up, Kurizu? You look happy.
Oh, I seem happy to you.
I'm going now. You should come with me. Oh, wait. Sensing a gathering storm of violence, Ito pushed Wakui out the door. Kazuki had looked up, but now she slammed her head back on the desk. Now that she was all alone, Kurizu took out her phone and checked it. There was no message, of course. She sighed and looked at the board. The incident yesterday at the Love Hotel. Whether it was murder or suicide, from the way Miyashiro and Onoi had looked when they'd been taken by police, something had happened. Miyashiro had said it was something to do with this incident 6 years ago. Now that it had happened 3 times, there was no ignoring it. No, it was too dangerous. She couldn't let him get any more involved in this. She thought back to Ito's question about why Miyashiro was so interested in this case. Kazuki was still lying with her head on the desk. When she turned her head to the side, for some reason she looked like she was enjoying herself. When Kurizu saw that, she suddenly lost her desire to drink the coffee. Apologising in her mind to Kazuki, she decided to pour it out of the water fountain. She headed to the upstairs water fountain, which was usually less crowded. She found herself looking in the gaps between the tiles, and the sound of her footsteps rang in her ears. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much today. She could tell that she was walking slower than usual. Essentially, Kurizu was lonely. She remembered what she'd said to Miyashiro as he woke up in the clinic.
I'm Nono Kurizu. Call me by my first name. We're family, so it'd be weird to call each other by our last names, right?
In the end, he just wants to pretend that he's special. She knew why, she supposed. The event that caused him to leave the dorm was still bothering him. This way, please, this way. Whoa, why is the audio doubled? I'm telling you, we can't get around from the back. How many times do I have to... Save us, someone. Why won't the phones work? I wanted water. I still feel the sensation of the dead woman I'd touched when I'd fallen on my hands, and I wanted to wash it off. I wanted to wash my face too. The wind from the flames had blown something small into my eye and it itched badly. I was thirsty too. Sarika was on my back and showed no signs of waking up. Damn it. My legs were at their limit, so I forced my way through the crowd even, and sat down on a tire that had rolled nearby. It smelled like burning rubber. I didn't have the energy to apologise to the people I ran into, and they didn't have the energy left to complain. I slowly brought Sariko to rest on my knees and looked around. I saw an orange light. The light of the fires reflected off many things. It was pretty, I thought, before I realised how inappropriate that was. For some reason I started to count the bodies on the ground, not knowing if they were alive or dead. But in less than 5 seconds I'd gotten way over 10, and realised how futile it was. I stopped. Shibuya Station was utterly destroyed. The 107 only a few minutes away by foot was ruined as well. 5 whole hours after the earthquake, the chaos had only increased. There were fewer people out walking, but I wasn't sure if it was because they had reached safety or simply collapsed from exhaustion. I saw someone carrying his own severed arm in a convenience store bag. Fucking hell. I saw people ignore a barefoot woman as she cradled a baby whose head was smashed in. Fucking, this is brutal. Fuck. Some had outright given up on sanity and were flinging things into the fire. A group of middle-aged salarymen were dragging a young girl into the darkness. A young man went to join them. This is hell. It sounds it. There was no other way to describe it. This was hell. Sarika moaned a little in my lap. I slapped her cheeks to wake her up. Anoe? Anoe? Her face distorted in agony. It was okay, she was breathing. She was okay. We're heading to Yoyogi, right? You know, that big general hospital. You remember, right? We snuck in there once when we were little. Instead of answering, she just moved her eyebrows a little. I swore and lifted her up onto my back again. She didn't seem to be that badly hurt, but this kept happening. I read on Twitter that the general hospital in front of Yoyogi Station was accepting patients injured in the earthquake. I didn't know what day was true, but I had no choice but to go. It had to be better than the hell that was Shibuya. Don't die. I yelled, unsure if Serika could even hear me, and started walking. I just needed to get to the hospital. I leapt up. I quickly glanced to the left and right and I tried to calm my racing heart. I saw I was in my own bed. I felt exhausted. I also felt really thirsty. Maybe it was because I'd had the dream again. I searched around until I found a bottle of water by my bedside. Fuck, I can't talk. Took a gulp and then grabbed the phone off my bed to check the time. 12:17 AM. It's a new day, huh? It was around noon when the police had let me go from Shibuya Station with a warning. I'd gone home and gone straight to bed, so I would have been out for more than 12 hours. This was no good. Maybe I'd slept too long, or maybe I hadn't slept enough because my head felt like it was filled with lead. No, maybe not. I put my hands to the thin light that was coming through the window and checked their colour. They were the same as always. There was no blood on them. Ugh. I felt a little like throwing up. I hoped another drink of water would help, but it didn't. Damn it. I thought for a moment and then decided to turn on the room lights. I turned on the laptop. I ran a search for urge to vomit lesson drinks even. The internet gave me a page after page of results. I checked a bunch of pages like you're supposed to just like you're supposed to do when you're looking something up. Ginger, huh? I guess I got that Kakonto that Jen gave me. I looked under the sink until I found the Kakonto powder, then poured it into a cup and added some hot water from the electric kettle. It had a strange smell, unlike anything I was used to. I took a sip. I could tell that my hands were shaking a little as I held the cup. God damn it all. It wasn't the first time I'd seen a body. I checked the phone again and saw that there were several messages from Serika and Kuruzu. I went to answer but stopped. They were probably still up, but I didn't feel like talking to anyone. It felt like the air I breathed in the Love Hotel yesterday was still deep inside me, along with the cheerful melody of the music box and the red that covered my vision. I felt something strange on my cheek and put a hand up to feel it. It was a bandage. I'd gone through some kind of clinic at the police station where they put me in. They told me I must have hit my face hard on the floor when I passed out. I was unlucky enough to scrape my cheek against a piece of the shattered glass. Thankfully it wasn't a big wound, it barely hurt at all. But it itched like hell. And each time it itched, the shock the shock I'd felt come rushing back and quickened my pulse. The danger was long gone, but I still couldn't forget the terror. Had I almost been caught up in something horrible? No. I was fine. I was fine, right? I wasn't like everyone else. I wasn't an amateur. I'd gone through that hell I just dreamed about and survived. Okay. Maybe having that nightmare again was good for me. I managed to force down the urge to vomit, then clicked away at the computer. I opened my computer's TV program, changed the channel to the news program, and watched it on my monitor. A few months ago I bought a USB TV tuner off a homeless guy who had no idea what it was worth. All it cost me was a dinner at a local restaurant. Just like I thought, there was an article about the event 2 days ago. All they said was that a man's body was found in a Doginzaki? I don't know how you say that. Love Hotel. They didn't say whether it was suicide, murder, or just an accident. There was nothing about the girl who'd been found at the scene. Or about me and Serika. I see. I figured this is what I'd get. I never experienced for myself the gap between what happened at the crime scene and what was reported on TV, but it didn't really surprise me. These days the internet was a lot faster at reporting things than TV. To people who followed the news online, TV wasn't a place to learn new things. It was where you went to see if something you'd heard about was so important it was getting TV coverage. What about the people online? I closed the TV program and opened the browser. Nikkoniya News had something on it too. I clicked on the uploaded video. Another incident has occurred in Shibuya. This makes it for 3 strange incidents so far. Just like always, it was Watabe, the attention-seeking internet reporter. He was famous for charging into crime scenes to get scoops. Lately he'd seemed to be getting a little too cocky. He explained what had gone on in the Love Hotel as a video show pictures he had previously taken himself. Either way, I think police are hiding something. The only announcement has been what a body was found, but if that's all, then why would... And then, like always, he started to mix his own subjective opinions with the news. He was right, the police were hiding something, but there was little point in listening to the rest of this. Vague information would just get in the way. This is all I can expect from the masses on the internet, I guess. I mostly ignored Watanabe's voice, Watabe even. Why did I add a random syllable in there as I looked at the video on the screen? He must have gotten it by charging into the hotel room. What the hell was all that? I thought back to what happened. A man was strangled to death in his room. There was an unconscious girl and a police officer there as well. The girl was the most obvious suspect. Even if she chose a strange way to do it, she still must have killed him, right? No, she had definitely killed him and they would have announced that. She was arrested just like I was. Over 30 hours had passed even if they'd found out she was innocent, they should have announced that. The police believe that the girl with him may know something and are proceeding with their investigation, like that. Did the police think that she didn't do it? Then what was she doing in that room? And even if the police had told me during the interrogation that I'd imagined it, I knew what I'd heard. Someone else had visited that room and knocked on the door. The sound was eerie and always had the same rhythm. I felt a cold chill and idly turned towards the door. Let's go positive. Positive action. Come on. My room was the same as always. There was no sign of anyone approaching it. I listened carefully to see if I could hear anything outside. Nothing. Come on, you're worrying too much. Huh? I just heard a knock at the door, right? I couldn't believe it, but I'd forgotten to lock the door. I froze it swung open from the outside. Someone was here. Who? I knew 2 people who would come in without waiting for an answer, but... Was it okay for me to just stand here? Who's there? I gulped and spoke in a hoarse voice. Poking through the gap of the door was...
Taku?
Taku? Oh. Someone I knew well. Good, you're still up. Relieved, I staggered over and sat down on the bed. That hadn't done my heart any favours. For some reason, Serika was standing in the entrance fidgeting. She didn't try to come any further in. What's wrong? I don't think it's a good idea for a girl to be coming by alone at this hour. I didn't think any of the homeless in this park were bad people, but someone who was hard up for money might attack her. Especially after what I'd seen, I felt like I was going to start imagining things I didn't want to visualise. Taku, are you okay? Okay with what? After what happened yesterday? Honestly, not really. Was Serika going through the same thing? When I'm alone in the house, I remember what happened yesterday, so I get scared and can't sleep. Onoe. I don't want to be alone tonight, okay? Can I stay over just for tonight? I knew exactly how she felt. Just having someone you knew next to you was enough to make you feel a lot better. Take me, for example. Having Serika here was letting me relax a little. Sure. I'd have to sleep on the floor, I suppose. Thanks. Serika must have felt better when she heard my response because she looked like she was about to cry. She sat down next to me on the bed. Why was she sitting next to me? There were other places to sit. But when I looked closer, I saw her shoulders were shaking a little. I just keep remembering what happened yesterday. Onoe. It was natural, I suppose. Serika was a girl and she was younger than me. Seeing something like that must have been a huge shock to her. It was my fault for getting caught up in this. As I started thinking about that, she put her head up against my shoulder. Taku, stay with me. Please. I know he's a lot tougher than that. Of course, in reality, Serika never would have let me see her being that vulnerable, and she never actually come to visit. Was she okay even if I wasn't? Maybe she was just fine. She was probably just dense, yeah. I was really delicate, so in a sense, I was jealous of her. I sighed a little and locked the door. That's right, crap. It was a new day. What about the pundits on the internet? I quickly opened another site. Shibuya News. This is the private news site I trusted most. It was always updated at midnight every day. The quality of the news and reliability of its updates made it far more useful than TV or the mass market sites. Online news was faster than TV, but of course some sites were better than others. There was no end to the number of wrong-siders who would treat the net as a single entity that was opposite of TV. The TV says one thing, but the internet says something different, they'd say. If you ask me, they were utter morons. These days, even a lot of larger sites online aim for the same mass market the TV news did. It was critical that you find out for yourself which sites could really be trusted. Just like the name implied, Shibuya News dealt with the goings-on around Shibuya. It was similar enough to our newspaper club that everyone in the club knew about the site and used it regularly. Its owner, Kei, was, how to say this, very skilled at getting and sharing information and seeing its effects. She carefully calculated when to send and when to receive information. A lot of child and grandchild sites use Shibuya News as their parent site. Most of them were privately run news sites as well. As a result, a huge number of people saw the information that Kei spread. I think it's Kei. To put more unkindly, Kei was manipulating them. Anytime Kei wrote about a popular shop among high school students in Shibuya or free smartphone app, I would hear people at school talking about it within a few days. Take, for example, the Twitter user that most of Hekiho Academy followed, Hekiho Bot. It described itself as a bot by Hekiho students for Hekiho students, but from the number of times it would show up in Shibuya News, my guess was that it was actually run by Kei. Fuck me, I can't say that name. Kei was one of the few people I recognised as a right-sider. When something important was going on in Shibuya first, you check the TV news to get the basics and the mass market sites to see what the net was saying. Then you go to Shibuya News for the latest information. This was the way of the newspaper club, and myself specifically would look for information. I figured they'd be broadcasting. The quality of the news wasn't the only reason that Shibuya News was popular. One reason was that Kei appeared to be a girl. When someone was thought to be a girl in real life, they got a lot more hits than someone who was thought to be a guy. And the other reason was... And that was a contract of blood to seal our sin by Phantasm. This radio broadcast. Whenever there was something big she wanted to report on, she would always do an internet radio broadcast. It offered proof that she was a girl, her voice calm and pleasant to the ear. A lot of people just listened to her broadcasts. The audio from the leaky noise case that I'd played for Kuzu actually been modified by Kai to be easier to understand. Okay, normally I don't play Phantasm. There's a reason I've chosen it today. You're all aware of the death of the man in his 20s in the Shibuya Love Hotel yesterday, right? Like always, Watabe and Nikoniya News was there to tell you all about it, but... I chuckled a little. His glory hogging was running joke on Nikoniya News viewers. But there's something you didn't notice. Phantasm released a song 6 years ago, and you all remember what happened to Len, of course. That's right, the Shibuya earthquake, but before that, there was also strange events called the New Generation Madness. I was startled. That's right, crap. I'd forgotten all about what happened at the Love Hotel. No way. Some of you may have already noticed, right? The Don't Look Me case on the 7th of September, then the leaky noise on the 19th, and now this new death yesterday. Or more precisely, 2 days ago on the 29th. The dates match up with the incident 6 years ago. In that second, the Twitter stream they linked up to broadcast lit up. It was overflowing with comments. The next valid date is October 10th, the day of the Vampire case. My beloved citizens of Shibuya, please take care. That's all for tonight. Thank you for listening in. This has been your host, Kay. It will soon be 12:30 AM on October 1st. I pray you spend tomorrow in a way you won't regret. She signed off in the usual way, and the broadcast ended. She got me. That's right, the hypothesis is why I'd forced my way into Love Hotel. And something had happened, just like I thought. After 3 such incidents, it was only natural to assume there might be a connection. The New Generation Madness. Was it going to happen again? And with that, I think we'll leave the episode here. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like in the section below. And if you want to see more of this, and do subscribe to the channel as I upload every day. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.